said I'd never make it. You said I wouldn't last. You said I'd be returning to my actions of the past, with the crowds I used to run with, saying the things I used to say. But I wish you'd stand back and take a look at me today. Satan, you're a liar. You're a liar. You should know by now. I know you are a liar. There's one thing you can't deny. You're the father of every lie. You're a liar. I gave my heart to Jesus. You laughed and I heard you speak. Remember, you spoke through someone that it would not last a week. But I've walked with the Master through the flood and through the fire. And if I've learned anything at all, I've learned that you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar.
I experimented with and used drugs and alcohol from about the age of 5 until I was 37 years old. I have been in dysfunctional, abusive relationships my whole life, and I was a victim of sexual abuse. I was angry and violent for many years. At times, I suffered from mental illness, and my behavior was insane. I have had many interactions with dark forces, and my criminal history is very long. I suffer from identity issues most of my life, and one reason for that is because I never knew who my biological father was. Growing up as a teenager was difficult for me because I would see all my friends who had a mother and a father at home to raise them, or if their parents didn't live together, they at least knew who their dad was. I envied them my whole life. There were times during my teenage years that I thought, if I could just go stay with my dad, just maybe, I could escape some of the hurt and pain I was experiencing in my life. I carried this deficit for most of my life. I have attempted to identify with my 4 sibling fathers at times in the past, and that didn't work. So I finally gave that to God, and I got through each day by claiming God, the great creator, not only as my heavenly father, but as my earthly father as well. When I began to do that, He was then able to help me to begin to accept and live with this fact. Eventually, I realized He assembled me in my life exactly the way He intended it to be. In March 2007, I emptied my body of all mind-altering substances, and I began seeing things in a new light with the brand new lenses, and I found out I was the child of the Most High, who was anointed, highly favored, graced, and mercied. He placed me in seclusion for 7 years while He and I did extensive and thorough self-inventory. During this time, God allowed me to go back to school and get my Bachelor's of Applied Behavioral Science degree. He began to educate and enlighten me in many different areas on many different levels. A lot of that time was spent praying and meditating on Him constantly and getting to know me and strengthening our relationship and learning how to hear His voice and recognize how He worked in and around my life. The awakening had begun. I had a made up mind, and heart, body, and soul were in alignment as to what we were going to do next. I refused to give the devil the satisfaction of getting me back after all God had delivered me from. I had escaped him and his cronies' countless attempts to derail me. God said, if you do as I ask, I promise I'll take care of you and protect you through all the valleys and the shadows of death, every step of the way. I didn't have much patience and understanding with others in early recovery. I would on many occasions go to the grocery store and spend an hour or more shopping, but when I got to the checkout stand and I saw the line was longer than a 5-minute wait, I would leave the grocery cart sitting there and walk right off because I didn't have patience and understanding. I was used to quick fixes. I had to relearn how to do everything. I had to learn how to exist on this dimension, and it was hard. I had to learn how to talk, walk, think, act, and not react, but how to process new information my brain received from outside sources differently and communicate appropriately that processed information with others in a healthy way. I had to block out all those false negative messages and stereotypes that I had previously taken into my being from people, places, and things. The media, certain music, movies, videos, social media sites. I completely eliminated cable TV, and I began to filter what I allowed into my mind, body, and soul. I learned how to self-assess and self-correct. I lived in a clean and sober house where I shared a room with another lady, and not all the residents were clean and sober in this house. It was the type of in-my-face kind of thing that made it very difficult for me to stay clean and sober, but I did. I had to eventually move just to maintain my own sanity and recovery. This was life or death. I went to another recovery home for all women, and that was okay because I had my own room. But there was a lot of nitpicking and issues around trust and jealousy going on, along with the use of drugs in the house. I learned very quickly that everyone who said they were in recovery wasn't honestly in recovery. I could have used these as excuses to go backward, but I kept pressing forward because I knew if I hung out with the crows, I would get shot at. At 1 year clean and sober, I got involved with a man who was a liar, cheater, emotionally unavailable, abusive, and mentally as well as spiritually bankrupt. He abandoned me at 2 months pregnant. My judgment was poor and my picker was fragmented. I was devastated and confused, and I didn't quite understand why this was happening to me. After all, I was clean and sober now. Meanwhile, my heart was ailing, I was overwhelmed, and I was disappointed in myself. In hindsight, all the warning signs and red flags about this man were clearly there. I had ignored them because I thought he loved me because he showed me some attention. Boy, was I wrong. I was a single mom again, And this was not a part of the New Deal. But God spoke to me and said, I got you. Just do what you gotta do. And I did. I was homeless for much of that 7-year period. I lived in several shelters with my newborn baby. We were constantly moving, but I never gave up on me because God never gave up on me. I knew what was behind me, and I didn't want to go back to that, so I stayed with it. The more my situation improved, the more the enemy would attack me. 3 years into the bachelor's program, I almost got into a physical altercation with a lady, and I could have gotten expelled from the whole program and blew everything I had worked so hard for. But I had people I could call and meet with on my team to guide me through these types of obstacles and situations. You gotta have a good team. On top of that, a couple times I was being taught by those who were not a part of God's plan, but was crossing my path. And this made learning and staying in school even more challenging. But I was determined to keep my commitment to God. My financial aid funding was messed up several times. I had to sit out of school for 2 quarters, and I had to fight to get it back. Seemed like roadblocks were everywhere, but I never gave up. I cannot conceptualize where I would be if it wasn't for the grace, protection, mercy, favor, and anointing on my life by the Most High, and because of all the madness and insanity that God previously brought me through while in my addiction. The 7-year process I went through made my faith that much stronger. There were many times that I wanted to just quit and give up, but that mustard seed I had wouldn't let me. Once I began to truly let go and trust God and start going out on faith, I began to find all kinds of lights to light my way out of darkness. While growing up, I was referred to as strange, odd, weird, bizarre, peculiar, creepy, different, wild, and crazy. And I held on to all these labels for years. In high school, I'm sure I was voted most likely not to succeed. I didn't understand until I got much older that God had set me apart on purpose, and He made me different for a very good reason. Once I got clean and sober, I then began to let go of all those labels. They no longer disturbed me. Now, of course, along the way, low self-esteem, self-hate, shame, and guilt tried to get me down. But I decided to unfriend them. I broke up with nonsense, loneliness, resentfulness, inferiority, manipulation, and worthlessness. It was hard to let some of them go. I had to straight block any kind of stinking thinking, disrespect, fakeness, and I muted rudeness, hypersensitivity, and selfishness. I still have issues that I work on daily. I don't trust very easily. I'm a loner. I'm a perfectionist and a workaholic. I get impatient and irritated when things don't go my way. I get annoyed when I give someone information that I know will benefit them or can enlighten them, and they don't act on it or use it. I have to constantly remind myself that others may not be where I am at. I have to remind myself continually that I am only in control of me and what I do and the choices I make in my life. Two very important people were taken from me. One in 2002 and the other in 2014. My mother and my brother. They were so very special and dear to my heart. I tried to control their path here on earth and intervene as much as I was allowed. And when I was unable to save them, I felt like a failure. And I appointed myself to blame. I took on all that responsibility. I have to remind myself constantly that I am not God. I am not in control of people, places, and things. But I still have my struggles. The devil meant it for evil, but all things work for the good of God and His glory. And I trust the universe and the course that it has chosen for me as well as for my loved ones. In early recovery, I tried to fill in the missing parts of my life during my active addiction. I was committed to restoring these memories. Then it dawned on me that if I can't remember them, then God must not want me to remember them. The things I need to remember, I do. Like how God brought me out of my own self-formed, filthy prison of mental illness, depression, anger, violence, frustration, incarceration, insanity, gang affiliation, self-destruction, self-hate, low self-esteem, ignorance, homelessness, cigarette smoking, the use of street drugs, prescription drugs, alcohol, and the whole lifestyle. I had triggers for years due to my addiction. Certain people, places, and things, even certain smells, can bring about a craving out of the blue. It could go as far as to leave the taste of crack cocaine in my mouth, and I haven't smoked drugs in years. The sensory glands are very powerful, and they remember. For a long time, I could not own a lighter, use a Brillo pad to clean my dishes, listen to gangster rap music, go by the alcoholic beverage section in the grocery store, or go downtown, because they would trigger the stinking thinking in my head, and the message would then go directly to my main addict demon named Shelsky. So in early recovery, I avoided these known triggers at all costs. I didn't play with my life. I learned that I had to live life on life's terms, one day at a time, and sometimes minute by minute, second by second. Once I began to really trust in God and His promises, I began to see things change in my life. He began eliminating all the negative, unsupportive people, places, and things, one by one, including family members. I honored my promise to God that I would not use drugs or alcohol no matter what. And I dedicated my mind, body, and soul to Him and doing His will and answering His call. I kept that promise, followed through, and true healing began to take place in my life. Today, I am a very private person. I love and respect myself. I follow my lightweight plan that consists of eating good healthy foods, being physically active, getting proper rest, meditating, and praying persistently. Sometimes the sugar monster get on me, but I am educated, aware, and equipped to be able to make better choices about what I put in my temple, thus allowing me better outcomes in my life overall. I do service work because I have to give it away in order to keep it. God said, I didn't give you all this to keep. You have to share it. That was the purpose. No thing on this planet could have brought me out of addiction but prayer and my assigned angels. No man, no job, no car, no amount of money, or a promise of a home could have gotten my attention off of drugs and alcohol. Constant prayer and uplifting music got me through every single day of my life, the good and the bad. I make it a point to meditate on my higher power day and night. Without him, I am nothing. I have learned to access the powers that resides within me, and I can truly say it's all good. I used God and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous to get my mind right and save my own ass. Today, I live an honest life and I'm in control of me. I have been educated and empowered with knowledge and truth. I practice self-awareness so that I'm able to understand the things going on around me. I am equipped with the tools I need to overcome any obstacle. I reach out to others. I listen and I take some of their suggestions. I do a lot of self-positive talk to reinforce my recovery, and I am accountable today. I am here on assignment. I was born with the spirit of discernment along with other abilities, and I frequently receive information from other dimensions. I still have encounters with those in the spirit world, but they are very different interactions than when I was in my addiction. I have mastered the powers within me to encourage myself, which is a gift straight from God. I don't need stimulation from the world. I had to go through every single thing I experienced in order to do what I'm doing today. Inspiring, encouraging, and motivating hurt, damaged, injured, and broken people who must be uplifted and awakened. A person can overcome any state of being if the opportunity is there. Your mere existence is evidence that you hold the keys to unlock the powers that are within. Use them to unleash what you have inside and recover what is already yours. My addiction has been arrested for almost 8 years now. Today, I have good, honest, trustworthy people in my life. I am in permanent housing. My car is paid off. I've been on my current job for 2 years, and I have keys to access all kinds of things. I'm dependable and trustworthy. Recently, I started my own nonprofit organization called Chosen by Christ First. That's me. All of these things are a result of hard work, dedication, determination, and trusting in God, because I have never lived anywhere for more than a few months in my whole adult life. I wrecked or lost every car I ever had, and I was unemployable due to my addiction. Satan is a liar. These are the benefits of doing the right things in my life and following God's orders, and not always leaning to my own understanding. I'm just reaping what I sowed. Plus, the battle is already won. I'm a winner and I'm on the rise. I hope I have inspired, encouraged, and motivated someone, somewhere to make that change. Thanks for watching, and God bless y'all.
Every word that God releases over your life, the enemy will try to come against it. He knows that you are born with a purpose, so the enemy will tell you that you're worthless. He knows you're the children of the covenant, so he tries to show you the opposite. And he's really been after your anointing, but you gotta proclaim the devil can't hold me, 'cause I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. Every word that God releases over your life, the enemy will try to come against it. He knows you are the chosen generation, so the enemy will show you frustration. He knows that you're walking in healing. That's why the pains that you've been feeling, all the time they try to come from all angles. 'Cause I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. All the believers declare, I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. You wanna see it again? I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. When God speaks life, the devil speaks death. When God speaks wealth, the devil speaks debt. When God speaks healing, the devil speaks sickness. When God speaks peace, the devil speaks trouble. But you better stand and declare today that I'm on the rise. 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 Yeah. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. I'm on the rise. When God speaks life, the devil speaks death. When God speaks wealth, the devil speaks debt. When God speaks healing, the devil speaks sickness. When God speaks peace, the devil speaks